Evening. We are live. If you're joining us on the replay, thank you so much for joining. This could be the quickest show. We could be done in 5 minutes because basically all we're going to be doing is talking about what is Congress talking about and how does it affect small business, i.e. you. Should you be concerned? Should you be excited? We have had, some comments where people are hoping we talk about some things they hope are true, and we don't always deliver that kind of happiness, but that's not what this show is about. This show is not about happiness. But you know what I mean.
But you get happy with music.
Did you start the music? Oh, you got me? Oh, we don't hear it on our end? Oh. Pooh. Anyway, all right, let's kick it off. And thank you for those who are with us live. Say hello in the chat. Josh Thomas is here.
Josh is in the house.
Josh is here. And let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if it's lava hot because I hate summer and somebody went somewhere and it was only 65 degrees. So
who was the somebody? Because it wasn't me.
I think it was Kelly. I think Kelly went to the West Coast and she said it was like 65 degrees and I was super jelly. Anywho, okay, so we're going to tonight talk about what is Congress doing for you?
Hello, Melanie.
I'm not sure you're going to be happy about this, but we're going to talk about it. We'll open up for some Q&A and any pressing questions that's keeping you up at night. And let's just get into it. So, Trevor.
Well, I had a nap this afternoon, so I feel pretty good.
I did not have enough. All right, let's talk about what we're going to talk about.
Hey, Gene. Gene Salvatore's in the house.
Gene Salvatore! Hello. Aren't you in Connecticut? How come we haven't seen you yet in a long time?
Okay.
Aloha. Aloha, Melanie.
So what is it we're talking about?
What we're Rico!
Rico is here.
We're talking about what Congress has done with the EIDL and
hey, Tyrese.
What is Congress talking about when it comes to the EIDL?
Can you guess, Linda Ray?
I can guess. I have a banner for it.
Can you hazard a guess?
I actually have a banner for it. So why don't you? All right. Should I just put the banner up since you're keeping everyone in suspense?
Anne is here.
And
I've decided I'm using the applause button tonight. By the way, I literally just made the decision 7 seconds ago. I'm using the applause button for you folks when you join the show. So there you go.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
so share the show and have people come in so that we can use our new little podcasting device here on our live streaming video. So many resources, so much technology. And someone left the adapter at the house, which is where we normally do the shows. And instead now we've been coming to the office and he left the adapter at home. Luckily, it's only 10 minutes away. So
got to drive back up the hill, back into the country, from the town to the country, and then back again.
All right, let's go.
Speaking of which, on the way back, on the way here, I said to Linda, Linda, I would like you to do more talking tonight since you are familiar with our topic. And she said, no. She said, you're the loan officer. You do all the talking. And she said, I said, you're Desi with doing Babalu. And I'm just Lucy, who's always screwing up the show because I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, okay. Babalu.
Let's get into it. People are leaving.
Lucy, while explaining to do.
People are leaving. Let's get into the meat.
Who's left? Who left?
Thank
Rico
you.
left already?
I don't know. Okay, so let's go.
Oh, I'm supposed to talk about it?
Yeah. What was the banner? The 3 problems with the chest beating pride of the SBA and what's been accomplished in Congress.
2 things.
Aligning with the SBA.
2 things. Number one.
That has nothing to do with
as we discussed over on our last show, a bunch of senators got together and, they had a round robin event. The senators been working hard for your taxpayer dollar, and they wrote a letter.
That's actually, where's the wah-wah?
We don't have a wah-wah.
We need a wah-wah.
I can get a wah-wah.
And?
Right now, we don't have a wah-wah.
Or my voice going, and?
That's it.
Okay.
They wrote a letter.
Yeah. I could write a letter. I think I did write a letter.
Baby,
I actually wrote a letter to Isabel Guzman about the insurance requirement. You know where that got me? Another letter saying, we read your letter, but thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Josh Thomas is here in the house. And we have 753 signed on Josh's petition with 22,224 views and shares and promotes. But we need more signatures. If you care about your EIDL that you either didn't get at all or the increase you were never approved for or whatever issues you've got to sign Josh's petition.
753, that's up from like about 120, I think, from last week, Josh, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Gene, thanks for coming over to YouTube. Yeah, we like YouTube. I have this on LinkedIn and Facebook, but most people watch us here on YouTube, and I can't even reply with comments to the LinkedIn show because it doesn't allow me from my StreamYard.
Oh, Gene is asking for the link for Josh's petition.
Okay.
And Josh's theme is... keep fighting.
Yes.
This is Josh. Keep fighting.
Oh,
Just keep fighting.
Let me get the let me get that, Gene. I need I don't know how that's not readily available.
We're having a mic problem? What's the problem with the mic?
That cannot be.
Is it too hot? Is that the sound? Is the sound too hot? Because we've got some really nice microphones.
Yeah.
With a professional mixing board. So if you can give some feedback on the sound. One of the reasons we're doing the show here at our office is because we're having some Wi-Fi issues at home, and I won't throw the cable internet provider under the, okay, so everybody is saying there are some mic problems, which means maybe the microphones are too hot. So why don't we just turn down the microphones a little bit?
We didn't have a chance to test because somebody forgot the adapter.
That was me. And we get a little different sound level, a little lower.
So this is how.
And how's that? How's that sound? Let us know about that. We're on a mobile hotspot now, which should be streaming better than the terrible Wi-Fi in our house. And yes, Gene Salvatore is correct. The only cable internet provider in our area of Connecticut. And they're horrible.
All right, here comes
softer,
the link.
but still staticky issues. Okay.
This is really incredible. It was perfect last week. Maybe I need to move this mic away or something.
No, I adjusted the level.
Well, this is going to be a reason to cut it short because.
Okay, good night, folks. Pleasure talking with you.
All right, seriously.
Gene is saying the video is a little unsharp too, so it sounds like a hotspot issue. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't even.
How many? Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of way
All
of
right,
bars.
let's just get into what was disclosed.
Okay, so we talked about two things at Congress. First was they wrote a letter, whoop-de-doop-de-doo. Second thing is the Bank Fraud Enforcement Harmonization Act and the COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster. You took it away before I could read it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, bank fraud.
COVID-19 Economic Injury Disaster Loan Fraud Statute of Limitations Act. And
basically that means they're not talking about reopening the program. There it is. Spoiler alert. They're not talking about that. They're not talking about forgiveness. They're not talking about the things that small business owners really need, which is to infuse more money into the program because they didn't have the expertise or competence to approve more legitimate loans, and instead were duped. So now they're reallocating these resources or putting all the resources
to go after fraud. So here's my prediction. Hey, Lynn, can you tell the good people about my predictions so far for the last 2 years and
we already did. I made a GIF about this. We already talked about that.
Do we have a GIF?
We did. We have a GIF.
Whoa.
All right. So let's go to.
So here's my prediction.
Yeah.
When all is said and done, a couple of years down the road, when the numbers get released, and we see the dollar numbers of loans that were made and the dollar number of loans that were fraudulent, mark my words, you heard it here first, the percentage of fraudulent loans is going to be a very small percentage. I would use the word eeny, meeny, tiny. Teeny weeny.
I think that like professional terms are nominal, insignificant, not eensy weensy teensy spider.
Look at the economist over here with the nominal, insignificant. So it's going to be, in my opinion, a very small percentage of overall dollars. And I say this because as a former loan officer for 30 years doing government loans, the classic government reaction is to treat everything like it's fraud. Meanwhile, the program ultimately is doing exactly what the Congress designed it to do, which is to get loans out there to people. In my case, for 30 years, they were homeowner loans under the FHA, Federal Housing Administration, and the VA, Veterans Administration, insured and guaranteed loans that the government didn't lend the money. We bankers did, but they insured it against default. In this case, the SBA was allocated a bucket of money by the Congress under the CARES Act and said, get that money out into the economy. And they did it. Well, with all the hiccups, I will say that the early days, they did a pretty decent job. But now, you know, their OIG, who is about as clueless about small business, a bureaucrat as you can get, and I'll talk about that in a moment, why. In my opinion, he is that way. His OIG reports keep banging the SBA over the head, saying, "Hey, fraud! All these fraudulent loans. The SBA, not enough controls were implemented." And so, in the email that went out last week about these fraud acts, Isabella Guzman, basically she threw the previous administrator under the bus, which is okay because that's what I did too, all the time throughout our processing of $70 million in approved EIDL loans. And the first administration was a nightmare. Guzman definitely made it better, but then the SBA animal bureaucracy took over poor Isabella. They locked her in a room and they said, we're going to do what we bureaucrats do best, which is to muck it up.
Again.
Yeah.
Some more.
Which is why so many folks were left hanging back on May 16th when they closed the program down. They said, no more money, and modifications were not approved and loans were not approved.
Okay, let's not talk about the past right now.
Well, we're talking about going forward.
Yeah, let's
So going forward, what the SBA has just done with this Bank Fraud Harmonization Act, bills HR 7334 and 7352, they have extended their statute of limitations up to 10 years to go after criminal fraud on these PPP and the EIDL loans, and they have kind of put some extra muscle into the enforcement. All well and good because you should protect taxpayer money, but in my opinion, do not protect taxpayer money at the expense of small businesses that have not yet recovered from the COVID-19 pandemic.
They seem to think that COVID is over. But, I mean, I don't know. There's more variants, but monkeypox now, and
COVID is not over.
And people are talking about how they're still 55% down for their business.
New York Times was just reporting today about how science has not caught up to COVID yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, there's a new one that just came out of China in the last couple of days, passed from animal to human. It's got some weird name. So far, it, quote, not fatal, but, kind of flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing is ongoing, and as Linda said, the SBA is treating it like it's over and done. It's not. And so can we talk about the forgiveness thing you wanted the speech you wanted to make?
Well, it wasn't.
Truth Seeker. So true. Big round of applause. Truth Seeker has joined us tonight. By the way, Truth, just so you know, my rule for tonight, which I made up a few minutes ago in my head, was where the applause button is only for when you folks join us and we see you on the screen. We go, hey, they're here. So there you go, Truth Seeker. Okay.
So one of the things that we posted 2 separate videos, separate from the live video we did last Thursday or Wednesday. And somebody had said, why would you promote that the EIDL is not forgiven? And it's not that we're promoting, that might not even been their exact words, but we're they're like, why wouldn't you want that? It's free money. And, the government can't give all the money for free. They did the grants.
Well, they could, actually.
Well, they could, but they did the grants. They did the PP. They forgave the PPP. EIDL is a form of revenue. It's a source of revenue for the government. And there's no discussion of it being forgiven. There's no discussion of it on anywhere about it being forgiven.
In fact, in the SBA email, which we received from our regional office here in Connecticut, a lot of you folks said on the show you never got the email. Well, I figured out this morning why. Because unless you have subscribed to the regional SBA office newsletter, you probably didn't get it. And even if you are subscribed, every regional office, it's SBA. They're not always so the same. So they're performing the same. But in that email, it says, key points about the COVID-19 EIDL loan. Do we have to grab? Oh, that's for the next show.
No, I have this which is what we showed last week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then now there's two banners, but yeah. But we don't want to go into...
Key point, the first one that they wrote, it says COVID economic injury disaster loans are not forgivable. So the SBA is not talking about this forgiveness thing. And so what Linda, do you want to finish about the comment, what the person said in the comments?
They just said, and this is somebody who...
Hold on. Isal is here. Isal. My rule tonight, Isal, is as you join us and you say hi, you get a round of applause. Yep. Okay.
Jay, what about Jay? You didn't...
Where's Jay?
Jay Allen.
Jay Allen. Oh, my gosh. How could I miss Jay Allen?
Miss Jay.
Jay Allen. Big round of applause.
She was just kind of saying how it was, why would we be pushing this information?
Well, you're really ducking what she really said. What the person said was,
which I'll tell you.
Other YouTubers are talking about...
No, that was somebody else. That was somebody else.
Well, the one I remember is...
that was somebody else. Okay. That was someone else.
I really like that song.
Other YouTubers.
Stop. She kicked me under the table.
He was saying other YouTubers are saying about how it's a possibility or like...
And how come you guys aren't saying it, man? Yeah, man. Why aren't we saying it?
Well, because nobody's the only people talking about it are the people on YouTube. Nobody's talking about it, and they're not in charge of how shit gets passed.
As always, here on our little broadcasts and on our pre-recorded videos, we have striven from day one, from March 18th of 2020, when I said to Linda, there's going to be a lot of misinformation. Let's get it out there.
Jay knows.
And get accurate information.
Jay knows.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Get accurate information because there's going to be a lot of sharks swimming in the water to mislead people and take advantage of them and separate them from their money.
Let me tell you.
We are not a clickbait channel.
Well, first of all, I will tell you, I try to be extremely vigilant on our channel when people comment. Like, the comments that have the fingers pointing up to the name and it's like a Insta hacker, or they have this guy saved my life. And then they do 3 or 4 comments separately, basically pointing people to Instagram. And it's, call SBA Robert. It's like, Robert ain't going to help you.
Scammers and spammers looking to separate you from your money.
Yet these people are still trying to get small business owners to sign up with them in the hopes that you believe that you can get money and the program is closed. So please don't fall for these scams.
The program is closed. And as it stands right now, the program is not forgivable. And I agree with Jay Allen. The program will not be forgiveness. Isal says, the only way I see a possible EIDL forgiveness is if they need to buy votes. Good one, Isal. Good one, Isal. That's a good one. Oh, Josh, thank you. Super sticker.
Thank you. Super sticker.
Here, I just want to repeat the...
What?
I feel like
that's my super sticker dance. Okay.
That was the super sticker song. You totally missed it.
I heard it.
what I've said all along is if Congress is going to do anything to help businesses recover, what the Congress could do is essentially modify the terms of the EIDL, which currently for a business is 3.75%, 30-year fixed rate interest rate, 2.75% 30-year fixed rate interest rate for a not-for-profit organization.
You've been saying that all along.
If the Congress wants to step up and make it easier for you folks to recover from COVID, they could modify the terms. It's called a loan modification. Remember those, folks? Loan modifications that happened after the global meltdown of mortgages. The Congress could modify the terms and, in my opinion, lower the interest rate to 1%, which would lower monthly payments on those loans dramatically. And Mista gets a round of applause. Not just because you say great competent information gives a compliment, but because you're here, which is, pizza and beer, yes!
So I think, I don't want to bring the party down, especially since Josh is, offering the pizza and beer, but also...
Basically, I want to finish the show now. Just go get pizza and beer.
The big topic really that we wanted to share with you is that we got our hair cut for the show.
And my beard was trimmed.
So, because we were looking a little slovenly with, how we can live.
Over the clouds is in the house.
Over the clouds, through the woods. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about? We talked about...
Well, let's take some questions. Get to the Q&A pretty early. I know that Gene wants to immediately ask what my prediction is for NASCAR for this year.
Yeah, so...
Over the clouds... Oh, did I just did... Okay, sorry.
Wait, what? What was that? Was that a question?
No, I did over the clouds already.
No, but that was... okay, she was just unworkable. Oh, okay. All right, well, anyway, so just to cover, we talked about how some senators wrote a letter, and where did that get us? Nowhere. There is a new act about really kind of vigilantly going after, where did I put that? The bank, the fraud. Versus opening the damn program.
So let's talk about this new act that extends the statute of limitations for fraud investigations, criminal investigations, up to 10 years. I don't know what the previous statute was, but I would guess 2 or 3. So now it's up to 10 years, and put some extra muscle into the SBA's ability to go after fraud. Here's the thing that you all want to prepare to be aware, which is under the terms of your EIDL loan agreement or your PPP loan, whether you've had it forgiven or not, what we're recommending you do, whether you purchase our post-closing blueprint, can we put that link up, please? Or not.
Well, I have
what you want to do is prepare for an audit now. If you are prepared for a government audit now, then you will be able to answer all the questions posed to you by a bureaucratic bully who probably has already decided in advance that you committed fraud. I saw this happen in the mortgage industry time and time again. Meanwhile, shaking my head thinking, man, these folks wouldn't know fraud if it fell out of the sky, hit them on the head like a Volkswagen minibus, which are making a big comeback right now, by the way. So, you've got to be prepared for that. I once worked at a mortgage company where my really great friend Ken, I called him the Nooms. That was my nickname for him. He was the head underwriter and compliance officer at this mortgage company. And I was in his office one day and a pile of files. Yes, this is going back almost 20 years when paper files. And I'm like, what the heck's going on? He said, oh, the FHA is auditing these files and they say we shouldn't have done that loan and they shouldn't have done this loan, shouldn't have done that loan.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like 15 or 20 files. And so he said, so I'm preparing for it. I said, okay. So some weeks later, I was chatting. I said, hey, Nooms, whatever happened? Oh, he says, I beat them. I said, what do you mean you beat them? Like, he said, yeah, we're good. They're insuring all the loans. There's no issues. that's what happens when you know what your regulations are and when you prepare. So that's why we created the post-closing blueprint, which you can purchase at a reasonable fee. I think it's a reasonable fee. Do you think it's a reasonable fee?
Well, it has a lot in there. It has everything you need to know about your loan agreement, every section of the loan agreement, and how to handle the various obligations and responsibilities, and how to mitigate surprises.
Utilization of the funds, record keeping, receipts, all of this. I cover all of it.
This is the reason why. This is the reason why I'd be scared to not know.
The sales is here.
What?
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Hey, Miami, what's up?
Round of applause. And Victor is here. Victor has some great memories from inside the van in the 70s.
Well, this is, in all seriousness, this is why you want to understand your responsibility as a business owner. Because if they're looking to go after fraud in such a vigilant, that's the word of the day, vigilant manner, can you imagine what resources they may put behind? It's sort of like the IRS and auditing taxes. Any weird red flag thing, they're coming after people because that's also a source of revenue. And to be the hero with the red cape because they caught somebody,
Brendan Ella's Fun Adventures. Round of applause. Hey, thanks for joining us. So you all know we were catching up late. I decided early part of the show, everybody who shouts out as you join the show, get a round of applause. So there's a big round for all of you folks. And Josh Thomas is in the house, and he will not stop fighting, so make sure you sign his petition.
And the link is in the comments.
Link's in the comments.
All right, I think we should wrap it up. This is our earliest,
you just hit on something really important.
Yeah.
You got to understand, folks, when you're in an audit situation with a federal regulator on a loan,
hello from Indiana.
They are bringing a round of applause, a C.
Did I do it right?
You got to hold it.
You got to hold it.
Jason Young. Hello, Indiana. Big round of applause for Jason. With the most adorable photo icon.
Oh, look at
that schmoopy.
Kid.
Look at that schmoopy.
Oh.
Big round of applause for that schmoopy, Jason Young. So when one of these government audits,
Wait, did we miss Jessica Sands?
No. Did we?
I don't know.
We got Jessica, but just again another round of applause for Jessica, just because she's got a cool hat and it's like a boss hat and a boss pearl necklace.
All right, sorry.
So you got try to remember what it was like dealing with these SBA people. What Jessica's talking about here. The loan officer pulled her transcripts on May 2nd, never uploaded in the system, and then you get an email that says they didn't have any funds left, and your business is tanked. These are the same people who now, with these new fraud enforcement acts that have been passed by the Congress, instead of getting you more money, these are the same knuckleheads who are going to look at anything in your paperwork, any discrepancy. Thank you, Victor.
Appreciate that.
We get the super sticky music. There you go. Anything in your paperwork that's the slightest discrepancy, they're going to make you nuts. And they're just going to assume that you committed fraud. This is what I have seen in my over 3 decades experience in the industry and dealing with government, with bureaucrats. And Linda came up with the phrase bureaucratic bullies.
Well, that's for our August 25th show, where we're going to get into a little bit more about your responsibility as a business owner with this loan. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. August 25th. It's already scheduled, so set your little reminder. And let's let everyone, if you're on the East Coast like us, let's go out to eat because we're already here. We're going to go get a bite. And anybody have any questions before we depart?
Yeah, I got a hankering. I know Josh gave a super sticker for pizza, but actually we're heading across the street to a place that's got an amazing cheeseburger.
I've been hankering all afternoon. We haven't seen any questions.
So if you have some questions for us, folks, let us know. Q&A time.
Or not, because now let me just remind you guys in the comments, I put the link to Josh's petition. I put the press release for the new legislation that Congress passed.
The fraud legislation.
I did put the link to our post-closing blueprint if you wanted to have a Cliff Notes version. Do are only like baby boomers and Gen X know about Cliff Notes, or do Gen Z and millennials know about Cliff Notes? Abridged version of all the legal language in the loan agreement. We have dissected and ripped it apart and put it back together on how you can understand how to manage your loan. People, this is not put it in a drawer and forget about it. We've talked to so many people, they didn't even download the loan to have.
The loan agreement.
The loan agreement to have in their file. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we have a couple comments. No, it's just Josh saying, nice, enjoy. Okay, we're going to split and say thank you so much for joining us tonight and letting us go to dinner early. We appreciate it. I hope to see you August 25th.
Oh, we do have a question from Jason with the schmoopy, adorable child image. So, Jason,
yeah,
we think that the program is out of money, and that's part of why we came on tonight to talk about the new legislation that was passed, which is all about going after criminals and fraudulent loans.
Instead of helping you.
As opposed to helping you and your schmoopy to get more money to save your business.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. And
thank you, Victor, and thank you for the super sticker.
Thank you, super sticker, Victor.
Jessica, what do you suggest about the transcript? They did. I wouldn't go to the local SBA office. All they're going to tell you is the program's out of money.
They don't.
Here's what you can do, Jessica Sands.
They don't know.
And here's what you can do, Jason Young. Sign Josh's petition.
Yeah.
Because Josh is trying to step up. He wrote a petition which is all about getting that petition to the Congress. You know, here's DeSales asking, what do we think about Kelly? I don't. I try not to think about Kelly unless we're talking about the astronaut Kelly. Then I think he's
or my
he's a rock
friend
star.
Kelly.
Or your friend
adore.
Kelly. Although I once worked for a Kelly and she was a complete criminal. She stole my money. That's a whole long story. You'll have to read the book, which I will be writing the book. Don't you worry. But to sales and folks, about Josh's petition. This is what I want to talk about. It's the Congress that you have to talk to. It's not the SBA.
Right.
The Congress controls the purse strings for the money that's in the United States Treasury. Not the president, not the SBA, not the Supreme Court.
Right.
Even though they seem to all make all the headlines. The Congress of the United States controls the purse strings, which is the money. They have the keys to the vault. Sign Josh's petition, and as Josh says, keep fighting.
Yes.
Okay? DeSales, my Aunt Kelly.
Kelly's a big hit.
Brandon Ella, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, folks, thank you all so much.
Please stay well, stay safe. Hang out with us on August 25th, and we're going to just, give you guys some insight on how to manage your loan, because the more you prepare, the more you're aware, the less BS you got to deal with the bullies. First of all, can people hear when that thing's going, or was I just talking over that?
You were talking over it.
But they can hear me.
Yeah, they can hear you.
Oh,
It doesn't eliminate your
all right.
voice.
Anyway, ciao.
Technology. Good night, folks. I'm going to go to a cheeseburger. Keep fighting.